welcome back. Today I'm going to take you through some basic in-hand exercises. The reason I do the in-hand is because every horse has its own natural asymmetry, as so do we, and it's quite a good way to even them up a little bit. So you'll have every horse has a concave side where the muscles are shorter and tighter, tends to pull them round like this, and the convex side, so this side, they tend to have longer, more supple muscles, but they're quite weak. So ideally what we want to do is just trying to even that up as much as possible. All of us are either right-handed or left-handed, and that is also the same with the horse. They'll have either a dominant right front leg or a dominant left front leg. It doesn't really matter which way round. It's just that we need to be aware of what's happening in their body. Horses are kind of built with 60% of their body weight in front, 40% behind, roughly. You're looking at trying to sort of make those front legs kind of equal with 30% in each, but when you get the dominance in one of the shoulders, if it's the right one for instance, you're looking at loading a lot more weight onto that shoulder. Then you put the rider up there and then you're loading even more weight onto that shoulder. So it's really good to try and get that balance sorted out earlier. I mean, it's lovely, like 60% of their body weight is in front. That's fine because they're a grazing animal and that's good. They need that to graze. But then we get on and we need to just change things a little bit to make their backs a bit stronger and a bit more comfortable for us to sit on. Also in their hind legs, you'll have one hind leg that tends to push and one hind leg that tends to hold. So we're looking at trying to even that up, because often the hind leg that pushes will often push into the dominant shoulder. So we're looking at trying to create less thrust with that pushing leg and bring them out of their shoulder. So today we're using a leather cavesson. I really like this cavesson. It's nice and light and it's quite easy to refine your aids on it. I think when you're first getting started, and maybe the horse is getting started as well, this is a much better way of doing it, because eventually we'll go to a bridle, but I think when you're trying to get organised, you can end up, you know, giving too many aids on the bit, and that can be a bit confusing for the horse. So I think firstly, just get used to doing the in-hand work, and then later on go to using the bit. When we get started, I like to do the lowering of the head. It's useful in two ways actually, because you can use it as a bit of a reset button, because if they're a little bit highly strung or worried, which he's clearly not today, but it lowers, as they lower their head, it releases endorphins and relaxes them. So it's a very good little tip if you've got something that just can't kind of be with you for a second, it's very distracted. But also it's good because it's going to stretch his back, the whole of his top line. So we can use it for that as well. So when I'm asking for the lowering, it's just, he knows what to do. It's just gently asking the nose to come down. And there you can see he just came forward onto that front leg, which I don't want because that's putting more weight into that left fore. So I'm just going to step him back there so that he's on equal weight on those front feet. And then I'm just going to ask him to lower again. When you first start asking a horse to do that, I always talk about it like passive resistance. So you'll feel that as you ask them, they may not understand, they may not quite get it. So you just hold gently, and the slightest little try, the moment they just give a fraction, you have to reward by releasing the pressure. So you're not hanging on to this, you're just quickly releasing the moment they give it to you. You can use tip bits if you want to, or you can use like clicker training where you have a target for them to touch. So it's one of the first things I do. So one of the second exercises that I do is, once I've done that, is I start with some circles, and I start by a little bit like, they call it the archer stance. So this hand, I'm going to go around to the left to begin with. I would, just a little tip, I would always start to the left first, especially if your horse isn't really kind of used to the exercises, because it's so used to us being this side of them. So familiarise yourself and then with the exercise this way first, and then go to the right. So start with the archer stance. This hand stays very relaxed and open. This hand is just placed here near the shoulder. And what I want to do is I'm going to be walking forwards this way with him. And I want him to step around me, make kind of like a banana shape around me. And what I'm looking for is the lateral bending and the inside hip coming up and forwards, because we're working on the inside hind leg. So, just a little tap with the stick, just to say that we're going to go forwards. And then I'm going to start to make a circle. We just want a little bit more energy in that. And you're looking for him to make a nice, like there, banana shape around you. So when you've done your circles to the left, you want to do sort of similar, like 3 one way, 3 the other way. And now we're going to do the circles to the right. If you've got one rein that's slightly weaker than the other, you can just do one more set of reps on the weaker rein. So we're going to do right rein now. Back to the archer stance. Hand here, and then just a little tickle with the stick. Now I'm working on the right hind. So I still want to make that banana shape around me. I'm looking to try and get this inside hind stepping under. And what you'll find a little bit is they can mirror you. So if you need more energy, just almost up your own energy. If you find that they're actually a little bit tense or walking a little bit quick, you can kind of slow everything down. So just remember that it really is about your body language and getting them really listening to you. So it does give you a really good bond with the horses as well. Really start to notice and understand each other and start to speak the same language. So we've just done our circles left and right. Now I want to see if I can get down the long side, and that sounds really easy, but you'd be surprised how actually hard that is, because you'll get a bit of a thrust through the shoulder one way more than the other. So this is about just being able to control that and have a really light feeling in your hand. What you might find when you first ask them to do this is that they push a little bit and get a little bit too in front of you. So if you just change your body language slightly and maybe bring your body language forwards a little bit, then you can reduce that push. Because what we're going to do in a minute is turn this into a shoulder in. On the straight lines, and you feel happy with that, and you can walk all the way around the school without him pushing or coming off the track. You can then do a shoulder in, and you start with the smaller circle and your little half halts in your right rein here, because you can feel a little push there, and you're looking for 3 tracks. And this really nicely works on the inside hind leg, and it's a little bit like weightlifting, so he's doing some little reps with his inside hind leg here. So we only want to do a couple each way, and then that way when we go to the other rein we give this inside hind leg a rest. So I'm going to make a circle to the left now, and just up the energy a little bit here. I'm just losing his right shoulder a little bit there. And then we're going to come back towards you with the shoulder in this way. So now we're working on his near side, inside leg. That's it. And it's okay just to do it nice and steady, so he finds his balance. Good, and we don't get too much push. When you first start doing this exercise though, you will feel them trying to push you off the track. And that's so good for his inside hind leg. Good boy. So we're going to do another 10-metre circle, or thereabouts, and then we're going to come back up towards you with the horses in. So now we're working on the outside hind leg, and this exercise starts from this part of the circle here. I just turn my body round. He just wanted a little snack then. And I'm just encouraging him to, almost drawing his quarters towards me. And I have to just look that he doesn't push too much in the shoulder, and just try and keep a steady rhythm So now he's using that outside hind leg. There, I just lost the quarters a bit, see if I can get them back. Good boy, well done. Good boy. And then he can just have a good pat because he's been very clever. So we are going to do a haunches into the right now, on the right rein. Start with our circle just to help us set him up a little bit. And that starts from this part of the circle here, and I'm going to turn my body around because I've taught him when I do this, that means I want his quarters. And I just slow him down a little bit and reduce the thrust a little bit in the outside hind leg. There. And then this way I just need to ask for a little bit more bend, because this way he tends to push through the right shoulder a little bit. So I may just have to just pop the stick there. Now there's a little bit too much push, so the stick in front, and then draw those quarters towards me. And then as he gets better, we'll get more bend, but that will take, you know, a little while. Good boy. So some of the basic exercises that we've just run through. The haunches in is a little bit more advanced, and it's something that you need to take your time to get to, but you can see that it's really useful exercises that uses all of their body, and that's what it's all about, is strengthening the hind legs, trying to make the shoulders more equal and to make him a more comfortable pony to ride.